Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Georgia and today I'm testing out the Beauty Bay New Romantic eyeshadow palette. This is a new launch from Beauty Bay. It's kind of like their Valentine sort of palette, I guess. And it has some really pretty colours in it. First of all, the box is just amazing. And the actual packaging as well is so pretty. And then we have the inside here as well. It is a mix between matte shimmers and like in-betweens, I guess. They have some really pretty shades in here. And I wanted to give it a bit of a play around. Smells. I don't know what of, but it smells. It smells like those aliens. Why does everything smell like those little baby aliens? Yeah, I'm gonna have a go with this today. I'm not the absolute best. It kind of like best ideas ever. Like, but I want to give it a play around and see what I can do with it because I think there's some really pretty colours in there. So I'm first gonna go into Birthday, which is this pink shade here, and just take it all over the lid. And with it being the shade name Birthday, it's actually my birthday this month as well, so I quite like that. Feels like it's a special palette for me. And then once I'm done with that, I'm going to take a slightly smaller, flatter, but still fluffy brush. This is the Morphe M152 brush. I'm just going to take the shade Lingerie, which is this kind of brown shade up here. And I'm just going to tilt my head back and kind of get almost like above the actual crease of my eye. Do you know what brush I do need? My By Terry brush. Let me get it. Okay, I just really like the shape of this brush and it's so fluffy and it's nice to really do that up top bit there. Especially if you just compare it to this brush, it's a lot flatter, a bit more dense. This is a bit more fluffy and I think you just get a really nice shape with it. So I'm gonna go and use this one today. I feel like I've used this more than I used the actual palette, but I just think it's a really nice brush. It'd be interesting to see if they do them separately or not. But anyway, I quite like it. I'm just gonna go again with that same shade because I didn't really get enough like definition or like colour that I wanted from that. And just going over the same area again. See already how that's added so much more like shape to my eye compared to with the other brush there. I just really like this brush. I think I'm gonna keep it rounded for now. And because I did a winged look recently and it didn't really turn out the best. So I'm going to try and keep it like slightly rounded and I'll see just where it goes from here. So just make sure that shade there is dispersed out quite well because now I'm going to go into the shade Embers. I'm just going to take a little bit, not too much. And I'm just going to start on the inner corner here. I'm going to start in the middle to start with and then bring the colour out because I don't want too much of the distribution of the colour to be actually on the inner eye there. Okay, then I'm just going to go into Mars here. Just taking a little bit again and doing the same thing but trying to keep it to the outer edge this time. I am trying to keep these colours very precise where they are. I don't want them to blend out as much as that first colour I put down, Lingerie, but I want it to blend with it at the same time. So I feel like this has been quite good so far. I always get to this point in my makeup and I don't know where to go after this because it looks good and I just feel like the next step I'm going to take is going to ruin it. We'll see. I'm not sure how the glitters apply. I guess we'll give it a go and we'll see. Because I do want to put a glitter here. But I'm just thinking about whether to put something in between first. Okay, let's see how it goes. I'm going to take this end of the brush. This is at the eyeliner end. And I'm going to go into the shade Oyster, which is this gold shade, like shimmer shade at the top here. Just see how it applies. If it doesn't really work out, at least that's a lighter colour. I can kind of go over it with something else in a minute. But I'm just going to take that on the end of my brush and attempt to make some sort of line like on the crease there. So I'm just going to follow underneath that line where I've already put this. And I'll just see how it goes, I guess. It has applied quite nicely actually with this brush. So there's a slight bit of fallout of the glitter, but it looks quite nice so far. I'm gonna have to slightly thicken it up so it can be seen. But otherwise it has applied quite nicely actually. That's looking good. I'm gonna go ahead and ruin it now because that's what I like to do. The mattes have worked really well together so far, but they are quite light colours, so I feel like maybe that's why they blended nicely. And the shimmers and stuff, and I'll play around with some of the different shimmers because I have seen some things about the shimmers being different formulas or different consistencies throughout. I haven't really used too much of Beauty Bay's eyeshadows. I do have a Identity palette, I think it is, and then also my sister's got the NikkieTutorials palette. but I haven't really gone in and played around with it too much. I don't really know what to expect from each palette or from Beauty Bay in general, but so far I'm liking what I'm getting. I think I'm going to use the same brush. I could use a different brush for this, but I feel like I'm going to use the same brush because I do like the effect of this brush and I want to be quite precise when I'm putting this colour now. But I am going to go into Claret, which is this darker red sort of raspberry tone here. Now I'm going to do the inner and outer corner and just take it up to that line where that glitter was and try not to move too much of that around because I feel like it's going to get brushed off very easily. But I'm just slowly going to build up the colour here more so I can be precise with it. Now I don't want to bring it in too far because I'm going to put a shimmer there in a minute, but I might also just add a little bit of something darker, just the outer edges here to really make a bit more of the depth. I'm going to go into Saddle, which is this brown at the bottom here, and just put a tiny little bit just on the outer and like very outer edges again, just to kind of give it a bit more like dimension. Now that's done, I'm going to go into Raspberry, which is this glitter shade here. I'm just going to use my finger to put this on into like the middle part of my eye there where I haven't got anything. I just patted that on because it does kind of seem like it is a very just glitter based. Like there wasn't, I could still see the like my skin colour underneath, so it's not a very full like actual shadow of colour pigment, but it is a nice amount of the glitter. It's a really pretty shade and it is nice, and it's not like you have to work really hard to make it work or anything. But I'm just going to go in and put a bit more colour, build up a bit more colour above there, and then also fill out that line where I put that glitter as well. And I feel like once I put eyeliner it probably comes together a lot more. But yeah, I'm just going to go back and forth and put those other colours above there just to kind of bring them up to the depth of what this look here is. Okay, I'm just taking a fluffier brush. I use this one just for like blending out my eyeshadow afterwards. But I'm just going into Birthday a little bit, and I'm just going to disperse that top line. I've just done it on this side, but it's just to blend it out slightly. Okay, then I'm just going to take the thinner end of this brush again, like the eyeliner end, and go into the shade Ink here. And I'm just going to attempt to draw like a winged eyeliner on. It's quite pigmented, this colour, which is good. Okay, so there has been quite a bit of glitter fallout and then a slight bit of fallout from that black eyeshadow as well, but that's kind of expected because it is a dark colour, and also use it on a thinner brush quite like close to the lash line and everything, that kind of just fall out a bit more there, I find. And I feel like when I use this palette again, I'll probably do my foundation afterwards just because there is a lot of glitter fallout, but then again I did kind of use it on a thinner brush again, so that could be why. But just to be sure in future, I'm probably going to do my foundation after. I only did it first this time because I did like a little foundation video before this as well. So I'm taking that original brush that I used that I didn't actually end up really using, and I'm just going to take this. I think going to the shade Smoothie, although we didn't actually use it on the eye, there's like quite a nice colour that will kind of tie this all together hopefully. So I'm just going to take a little bit of Smoothie. Okay, so this is the makeup look all finished. I actually really like how it turned out. I was a bit unsure to start off with, but it's more like me doing it rather than the actual eyeshadow and stuff. But I do really like how it turned out. It has some really nice colours in there. They blended really nicely. The mattes are really nice in there. I did have a play around with a few of the shades, and I probably will keep using it. I might even do a like 3 looks 1 palette video just to kind of get a good use out of this and see what I like and what I don't like from it. But otherwise I think it's a really nice palette. I do really like it. I know it is like February and Valentine season and everything, so of course this is going to be a great look if you wanted to create any like pink eyeshadow looks or anything. But they do have quite a few almost like neutral shades as well. They're slightly pink toned, but they have a few sort of like the brown, and they have some gold coppery shades as well, or some of the lighter pinks, which I think will be really useful and easy to use in other looks which isn't necessarily a pink eye look as well. So I do think it's quite a usable palette. The colours, they build really nicely, they're quite pigmented, everything at the same time. Yeah, I quite like it for what it is, seeing as I'm not too much of a shimmery eye person anyway. I do really like it. I like the formulas, it just feels really nice and it just looks nice in the eye still. The only thing is there's a little bit of fallout with some of the glitters, which is to be expected, and also with that darker shade, which is again It's usually expected in darker shades anyway. I don't really know why. I don't know. I just assume that darker shades are going to have more fallout, or you'll see it more on your face. That's kind of expected again. But otherwise, it's a really good palette. Has a really nice size mirror and everything on there as well. And it just looks really pretty. The actual pan size is really nice. You get 20 eyeshadows in there, and this was £15 from Beauty Bay. I do believe it's like a limited edition one, or like not a seasonal, but I guess it's a limited edition and they're going to do it for a certain amount of time and they won't be making it anymore. But I just think it's a really nice palette. So I'd say if you wanted to get this and get your hands on it, then go ahead, because I think it's really, really nice. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you for sticking with me through this look today, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!